that's basically it, right, for the extra teaching?
Yeah.
Is there any extra?
And we're doing that as a big group first?
Yeah, this is all as big group.
Oh, we're gonna break off into smaller groups.
So we're gonna teach them to cover their face. We're gonna teach them what the importance of like stop, dropping, and rolling is.
Hey. Oh, hi. Totally didn't see you there. Wow. Let's turn down. Good morning. It is, falling. It is currently Wednesday while I am trying to fix this stupid camera and driving in traffic. Okay. Forgot to vlog the last 2 days, and I had a mental note in my head to keep vlogging, and I totally forgot to. Like, I kept saying, like, we're gonna vlog this moment, and I never pulled out my camera, so we didn't vlog any moments up until now. Monday was pretty typical. Work, studio time. I managed to finally complete a bunch of pieces I've been working on, so hopefully I get them in my kiln sometime this week so that I can glaze and get stuff done and have like really cool pieces looking by next week. So that is on the agenda for the week. Another thing that I am currently trying to like get a hold of is the quarter. It is now week 8. And my public health group is barely starting to realize that stuff is kind of due in a few weeks because the quarter is over. So we're trying to hustle now and get like all of our papers done, all of our posters done. The project we finally managed to finish, which was what happened on Tuesday. We were teaching fire safety, like stop, drop, and roll to a bunch of preschoolers, and that was our big grand project for public health and our aggregate group. So that's complete, and technically at this point we can actually finish our full final presentation, but we barely started working on it and it's due in 2 weeks. So that might be a little bit of an issue, but we're working on it. I actually stayed at one of my favorite coffee shops yesterday and last night, just trying to hash out my whole schedule for the week, because there's a lot of like small details and small tasks that need to get done that I tend to lose track of because I remember them like in the moment. And if I don't write things down, I'm the kind of person that's gonna forget it and it's just gonna leave my brain. One of the things that we're gonna be doing today is my nursing research presentation. So that's kind of like a big thing that needs to get done today. Me and my roommate. I keep calling her my roommate, and at this point you guys definitely know her by now, but me and Naomi are gonna be practicing today, and there's just a lot of different things because today we actually have clinicals and lab in the morning for like a case study type of assignment, and then afterwards, I am not sure you guys are aware of this necessarily, but there is the Nursing Honor Society called Sigma Theta Tau, and I was lucky enough to get an invitation to actually go to their invitational tea to like see what it's about and see if I actually want to join, which is really awesome. You know, it's a high regard, I would say. I can't say it's the most important thing that I've accomplished to this day, but you know, an honor is an honor, and I'm glad that I was even allowed to be a part of it. But that is happening at lunchtime-ish, and then afterwards is my presentation. So we barely finished our PowerPoint like yesterday, so we're gonna have to really iron out some details. But anyways, I'm gonna head over to school, try to attempt to make it on time, which at this point of the quarter, rare. I am kind of infamous at this point for being late to class because, you guys don't understand, when motivation dips, so does punctuality.
Like this, like
That is so weird.
cute.
No? Why
You're
not? You're not into that stuff? Not even like a small one? Like in your backyard?
I'm gonna have one. We're gonna sacrifice a goat.
Sacrifice a goat? You want to sacrifice a goat at your wedding? Sure. I'm just gonna go all over. Try me out. Yeah. Okay. I'm scared. Don't be scared.
The hard part, and that's sometimes why you have to. It's okay.
Oh, she's cute.
Look at that.
Nice.
Do this.
Bleb me. Try not to like poke a vein. Why not? Be good. In.
You ready?
A little bit more than that. Okay. Bleb me.
Right here. Wait, hold on. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Wow. She's cute. Today is the day we do squats. to put any music. I just realized that last clip was like the shortest time lapse ever. It felt like I was sitting there for 5 minutes, and I probably was, but that's what time lapse does. Anyways, I have some really unfortunate news that I am super bummed out about, that I took a 3-hour nap to kind of sleep it off. As you guys know, I have been working in a studio for the last 2-ish months at this point, and I had made quite a few pieces that I was extremely proud of and really excited to, you know, finish up. I don't know if you guys understand pottery terminology. I'm gonna break it down for you. Typically, when you make pottery, it goes through 2 separate kiln firings, and the kiln is a big oven that I cook all my pieces in that heats up to like 2,000 something degrees. It has to go through 2 firings. The first one kind of matures the clay to where it's a stiffened body that I cannot break down and get into simple clay. And then the second firing is when I have put on my glaze and like the colorants that get added to the actual pieces. My psycho sister and my psycho dog, ladies and gentlemen. As I was saying, second firing is the glaze firing, where I've put all the colorants and stuff, and that is when I put it in the kiln again, and they end up coming out like this. This is actually one of the pieces that I made recently from my last firing and test firing. It actually came out super cool. I don't know if you guys can see that. This is one of my prides. So I went through a second prototyping phase, and I made a bunch of pieces. 2 ramen bowls, a plate bowl, 3 different mugs. Like, I was super excited for this firing. And I had fired it for the first round where I had to mature the clay without any of the colorants and the glaze. Here's the thing. When you put things in the kiln, we have these things called cones. And cones are basically like, I don't even know what they're necessarily made of, but depending on the specific cone, different cones will melt at different temperatures inside the kiln. And that is one of the ways that we indicate that we're at the right temperature, where our clay or the pieces are done firing and you turn off the kiln. I have 2 separate cones. One of them fires to around 1800 degrees. The other one fires to about 2200 degrees. And it's really hot, and in ceramics terminology, that's actually kind of a huge difference in temperature, and also the time that your pieces sit inside the kiln differs too. I am blind as a bat, and last night I placed the wrong freaking cone inside my kiln. It looked like it was the right one, and it wasn't. So instead of doing my first firing, which is supposed to be 1800 degrees, I fired all of my unglazed pieces to 2200 degrees, which is what it's supposed to be when you have glaze on. In other words, I overfired all my pieces, and I don't think I can save a single one of them. I opened my kiln this afternoon. One of them already exploded, so I don't even want to look. I closed my kiln, I went to the room, and I went to sleep because I just did not want to think about it. I'm super bummed out because that's literally a month and a half's worth of work that is just gone. So there's that. But on the other hand, I am working on some paperwork that I will be announcing soon what that paperwork is. I also have a quiz tomorrow morning that I have to study for, so there's that. I'm gonna be going to bed soon to sleep off more of this disappointment.
That, like, for example, Jackie's been pushing to have maybe sort of a school health center there, which would be a cutting edge idea. They do have some school health